Hello learners, I am Parikshit and welcome to an exciting session on Unacademy CAT-alyst. In today's session, I'm going to talk about a list of top 5 B schools for students with not so good profiles. Remember, you might be having a poor profile, and one question which has always been there on your mind is, am I good enough to get into the top B schools? Are there B schools which take students without considering their past academics? Yes, the answer is a definite yes. We have top B schools who don't look at past ACAD records to give you an admission. And remember, in this particular video, I'm going to list these colleges in order. So let's get started for this very exciting session. Okay, so this is me, your educator on the platform with the highest live class rating. Thanks to my learners. New batches are starting on Unacademy in the next few days. 13th of October, a batch started, and today on the 16th, we have 2 batches starting. Now, if you wish to enroll for any of these batches, remember to use the code Parikshit Live, which is there on your screen. You will get maximum discounts using this code. Also, if you subscribe using the code Parikshit Live, you will get free mentorship from my side. And I repeat, free mentorship. Free mentorship is helping you beyond your class hours with queries and doubts. Okay, let's get started. Okay, number 5 on your list is IMT Ghaziabad. Okay, this is one of the top colleges in the country, and the IMT Ghaziabad cutoffs typically are in the early 90s. So if you have a 90, 91, 92 percentile in your CAT, you can definitely expect a call from the IMT Ghaziabad. Let's look at their shortlisting criteria. IMT Ghaziabad considers aggregate scores and not sectional scores of the applicants in the acceptable entrance exams for shortlisting. What does it mean? It means if you happen to end up with only a 70 percentile in the LRDI section, but you have overall 90 percentile, overall 90 but LRDI probably 70 percentile, you still will get a call from IMT Ghaziabad because they are not going to look at your sectional scores. The overall aggregate marks is what they will look at. Also, which exams do they look at? You can apply to IMT Ghaziabad either via the CAT or via the ZAC or the GMAT for the IMT Ghaziabad campus. And if you are looking at the IMT Nagpur and Hyderabad campuses, in addition to CAT, ZAT and the GMAT, they also accept the CMAT scores. Remember, here we are talking about the top colleges, and among the Nagpur, Hyderabad and Ghaziabad campus, IMT Ghaziabad is the best. Now, applicants may submit more than one entrance test score, and IMT Ghaziabad will consider the best test score for shortlisting. This is the first round of shortlisting for IMT Ghaziabad, right? Now, look at their final selection round. Final selection round criteria. First thing is, moment the first round of shortlisting is done, right? You will be called for the final selection round at the designated centers. Now, what do you look at? You look at they are giving you weightage, but very minimal weightage to academics work experience. The major weightage will be given to your PI round. What is a PI? PI is the personal interview round. And there is no work experience for 6 months. I mean, below 6 months work experience is equivalent to no work experience. No marks are considered. But remember, ACATs are considered very low weightage in the final selection of IMT Ghaziabad. Let's look at the next college in our list. Let's look at the next college. The next college in our list, a top college in the country. This is considered to be the finest college for your marketing. Now, if you are interested in marketing or advertisements, or probably you are looking at a niche course such as sports brand, writing sports branding or sports management, MICA is the college to be. MICA is Mudra Institute of Communication, Ahmedabad. If you look at their shortlisting criteria, right, 50% criteria is given to the CAT, ZAT or the ZMAT score. In other score, 50% weightage for your qualifying examination. And the remaining 50% is for the MICAT. Remember, post the CAT, most of you probably will apply to CAT, MICA via your CAT score, right? Post the CAT, you got to apply to the MICAT. And remember, there is a minimum cutoff to write the second level examination. What is the second level? Round 2 is your MyCat written examination. If you get around 85, generally the cutoff will vary between 85 to 90 percentile. 85 to 90 percentile in the CAT. So if you get, let's say, 90 percentile in the CAT, you will be eligible to write the MyCat. What is the MyCat exam? MyCat exam is a descriptive exam. It tests your creativity and it will test your psychometric analysis, right? Psychometric analysis it will do. And remember, there are no quants or LRDI will be asked in the MyCat. So it is all about descriptive reasoning. They will give you a scenario and they will ask you to analyze both pros and cons. And they will also give you creative based questions wherein you got to put on your creative thought, okay, creative hat, and give out a descriptive answer. So if you're poor in maths, you're poor in LRDI, numbers are not meant for you, but you still have an MBA dream and you dream to do an MBA in marketing, then MICA got to be the college. Again, as I say, no criteria, okay, no weightage for your CATs or work experience. 50% to the qualifying written exam and 50% to the MyCat score. Then the final shortlisting criteria, look at that. Absolutely zero weightage to your past CATs or your work experience. Look at the numbers here. Final selection criteria, okay, the previous one was the initial selection for the interviews. Final selection, 30% weightage is given to the MyCat exam score. Personal interview, 30%. A group exercise, 20%. And your CAT, ZAT or the ZMAT score, 20%. So overall 100%, and you see, as you see, 0% is given for work experience, 0% weightage to your CATs, and 0% weightage to diversity factors. Meaning, if you are a non-engineer, if you are a girl child, do you get extra bonus? No extra bonus. So only these components are considered, and if you have a poor profile, I think this is a college to target, because 100% of the weightage can be varied depending on your performance. Remember, you can improve on your performance in the CAT, your MyCat, your personal interview, and your group exercise. So 100% is based on your, how much hard you work, how hard you work, and what is your future performance. It is not based on historical performance, specifically 10, 12, and your work experience, which cannot be changed at this point of time. Okay, let's go to the next college on our list. Rank number 3, the best B schools with zero or low weightage to past profiles. Rank 3 is Symbiosis. Which two colleges are the best colleges? SIBM Pune and SCMHRD Pune. The top two colleges under Symbiosis universities. Again, if you see the Symbiosis universities cutoff, right? SNAP score weightage is 50%. SNAP in your this year the SNAP will be 60 marks, okay? But the scaled marks that you get will be scaled down to 50 marks and weightage is 50%. Group exercise 10%. Personal interview or personal interaction is 30% and written ability test is 10%. Okay, so total is 100%. Again, as you see, 0% weightage is assigned to your profile. 0%. So which colleges are the top ones? Remember, all colleges in Symbiosis accepts this criteria, right? This is the criteria. But the top colleges are SIBM Pune and SCMHRD Pune. What can be an example of a group exercise? A group exercise could be, as an example, I'll give you two examples. One example would be, they will give you chart papers, okay? They will give you chart papers, they will give you pencils, and they will give you colors. You will be asked to draw something, to depict something. Let's say a topic could be nationalism. What is the first thing that comes to your mind when you think about nationalism? Okay, could be an example of a group exercise. So the group thinks about something and probably you can draw the Indian flag. But more creative you are, the more creative you become, the better are your chances of scoring in the group exercise. Another example of a group exercise activity could be, let's say they form a group of 10 members, okay? They form a group of 10 members, and in this group of 10 members, they will say that, you know what? The group, you team of 10 members need to go to space, okay? You need to go to space. And they will give you a list of 10 items to carry. 10 items. It could be an oxygen cylinder, it could be a torchlight, It could be, let's say, some medicines. So they will give you a list of 10 items and they will ask you to rank the items in order of their importance. As an example, if you are going to space, which item is most important among the 10 and which item is least important. So they will ask you to form the sequence rank 1, rank 2, rank 3 up till rank 10. That will be initially an individual task. Initially, it will be an individual task. Once you individually rank the items, they will form a group. Now, in the group, they will ask you, come out with one consolidated answer. So what happens? After this, both the answers are compared. Which answers? The answers which you have marked and the answers which the group have decided. As an example, you have marked oxygen cylinder as the most important item. But while the group gave the answer, your group, right? Your specific group said that this is the least important item. Then they will ask you, the question they will ask you personally is, you consider it to be the most important item, but you know what? Your group considers the oxygen cylinder to be the least important item. Okay? So do you lack in convincing skills? Do you lack in team ability skills? Can you not convince your group? Are you not a good person with not good convincing skills? Could be a question. On the contrary, if your rank was rank number 1, you mark the oxygen cylinder as the most important and the group is also marking as most important. Similarly, you are marking the torch light as second most important. Group is also marking the torch light as second most important. So everything is very close. Your answers and the group answers are very close. The question the interview panel will ask you is, are you a very dominating player? Don't you have good convincing skills? Don't you have listening abilities? Why? Because whatever you said, the group had to agree. So don't you let other people view their opinions. Are you a team player? Such are the kind of questions. So there's no right or wrong, but it is more or less your skills, right? Your ability to convince the group why your answers match or don't match with the final consolidated answer of the group. That's the best example of a group exercise that is done in a symbiosis. Okay, 10% weightage. Next, rank number 2 on our list is MDI Gurgaon. So if you look at MDI Gurgaon, right, CAT 2021 score will have 55% weightage. Your application score 15%. But look at the application score. It has got 5 parameters. 10, 12, academic diversity, gender diversity and work experience. So even if you happen to score low in your 10 and 12 marks, okay, remember, you still have 9%. 9 marks is still for you because you will score in your academic diversity, gender diversity and work experience. So I'm not saying 0% weightage to your 10 and 12, but only 6% weightage to your 10 and 12. The remaining are for academic diversity, non-engineer, you get points. Gender diversity, you are a female, you get points. Work experience, you have 2 years of work experience, you get points. So some minimal percentage is assigned to your 10 and 12 score. What about your personal interview? 30%. So if you observe closely, 85% weightage is based on future factors. What are future factors? Meaning which is in your hands and which if you prepare well, you can still change. How 85%? Component 1 and component 3, add them up. 55 plus 30. CAT score 55%, interview 30%. So 85% weightage is on factors which is in your hands and you can change. The remaining 15% probably is not in your hands, but out of that also not everything is based on your profile. Gender diversity and academic diversity are best examples. So MDI Gurgaon is definitely one college you got to target if you have poor academics or poor profile, because 85% weightage is not on profile but on your CAT written examination and your personal interview. Next, rank number 1 on our list is obviously JBIMS Mumbai. It gives CAT 60% weightage to your CAT. Forget that 15%, okay? Par is basically your CATs. Forget that. But CATs or Maharashtra CET score is 60%. Similarly, work experience, or if you are a national level basketball player, let's say 20%. Diversity is 5%. But if you are still looking at this, you know what? Around 80 to 85% is not based on past academics. Remember, we are looking at your academics, and even if you score poorly in your academics, let's say your 10, 12, and bachelor's marks, you still have a very, very good chance of getting into JBIMS provided you score high in your CAT and you score high in your in your extracurricular. So if you do not have any extracurricular activities, cultivate an extracurricular, do something so that you can score brownie points on the extracurricular and work experience part. Okay, now let's take questions. Let's take questions which people are asking in the YouTube live. Okay, if you have a doubt, you can ask. Okay, what is the first question? Intake is very high. That's an observation. Someone is asking, I have 78% in 10 and 53% in 12 and 1 year gap between 10 and 12. Is it okay for top colleges in MBA? Again, as I said, Mohit, remember there are some colleges which gives you zero weightage to your, let's say, Symbiosis. Okay, zero weightage to your academics. So does it matter what score you got in your 10 and 12? Absolutely no. So Symbiosis is definitely a college in your you can target. What about your gap year? You got to explain the gap year. In the interview, they will definitely ask you, why do you have a gap? If you can justify, you'll definitely clear the interview. IMT Ghaziabad is better or baby IIMs? IMT Ghaziabad is definitely better than the baby IIMs, considering that IMT Ghaziabad, okay, again depends which baby IIMs. Are you talking about IIM Jammu or which baby IIMs? So if you are looking at the IIMs which have recently opened, then probably they are at par with IMT Ghaziabad. They are at par with IMT Ghaziabad. Many students often leave out, let's say, an IIM Jammu or an IIM Amritsar for IMT Ghaziabad. So someone is asking, my percentage in 12 was 47. So again, as I said, I gave you examples of colleges with 0% weightage to your academics. So you don't have to worry about that. JB ka cutoff. JB ka cutoff depend karega. What is the cutoff for JBMS? The cutoff for JBMS will depend on what category you belong. Do you have a Maharashtra domicile or outside Maharashtra? Outside Maharashtra, it is going to be 99.9 plus percentile. Within Maharashtra, if you belong to a category student, reserve category, SC, ST, these cutoffs will be much, much, much lower. Disability category, army veterans, then in that case, the cutoffs will be much lower. For IMT Ghaziabad, intake is very high. Yeah, see, these are colleges. Every college might have some disadvantage, right? So IMT Ghaziabad does have a very high intake. So does NMIMS Mumbai. So I agree. These are disadvantages. These are certain disadvantages. But again, you cannot discount the fact that these are top colleges of the country. Okay. And for JBIMS, remember we talked about the initial criteria. What about the final criteria? The final criteria for selection, okay, the in-person interview or the in-person assessment as they call it, gives zero weightage to your ACATS. Zero weightage. If you look at the group activity, 20% weightage. Interview, 60%. Group discussion, 20%. So 0% weightage in the final selection of JBIMS to your past academics, work experience, or your profile. It all depends on how your interview went. It all depends on how your GD went and how the group task went. It does not even give a weightage to your CAT or qualifying entrance examination score. How is the final selection done? The final selection is based on a weighted average. So 0.60 on AR and 0.40 on the interview. So 60% weightage on the first round and 40% weightage to the second round. They will come up with a total score. Okay. So quick announcements. The quick announcements are, if you are preparing for Unacademy with Unacademy, or if you intend to prepare with Unacademy for either 2021 or 2022 CAT, right? You can go for a 6-month subscription with us. Remember why 6 months? Because if you are a 2021 aspirant, you also have other exams like the CET, the ZAT, the IIF, GDPIs. Hence, you need a 6-month subscription. If you are a 2022 aspirant, a 6 months or a 1 year subscription will suffice. And remember, whatever price you see, if you need discounts on this, remember to use the code Parikshit Life for maximum discounts. The iconic subscription is also available for those of you who are interested. And yes, we have free full length mock tests coming up. please do register because it will help you evaluate where you stand in the competition today. And do not forget to use the code Parikshit Live to enroll and enroll for free. And remember, make use of the Ask a Doubt feature on Unacademy. Super feature. Anytime you have doubts, post your query on the Unacademy app using the Ask a Doubt feature. And yes, that is it for today. I hope you enjoyed the session, and I'm going to see you in my next session. Till then, goodbye and stay safe.